We are Team Indonesia representing Institut Teknologi Bandung. My name is Syahil Wardani with my partner.
My name is Muhammad Rimba Putra.
My name is Lalugarin Alham.
And my name is Wisnu Aryastio.
And we are very glad to be here this morning in Hong Kong University.
Okay, so Lenovo, the world's #2 PC distributor and producer company, is currently facing a huge dynamics in terms of the smart connected industry. And here, right now, we are faced by the dilemma. What should Lenovo do to overcome these challenges? But prior to that, let's see several key facts that we know from the case.
Okay, so in the global market, China accounts for 21% of the whole PC market, which is a quite large amount. And also despite all this growth and despite all this huge PC market, we see that there is a decline in the PC demand. So there is an increase in other parts of the smart connected devices, but for PC they are constantly decreasing. And what are the other facts that we know here?
Okay. So we also know that Lenovo is, like what I've mentioned before, the world's #2 PC vendor in 2013. And one interesting fact about Lenovo is that they implemented the protect and attack strategy to save their strength, which are the PC market itself and also the local Chinese market, and to seize other opportunities as well, such as in the smartphone market, tablet market, and also the cloud computing market. But they used inorganic growth, such as merger and acquisitions, to improve their company. Therefore, they have acquired IBM as one of the also largest PC producers in their company. And we can see that Lenovo has manufacturing plants. Got it? What's that?
Okay, thank you, Yo. We see that Lenovo has their manufacturing plants dispersed on 5 countries. The first is China, second is Brazil, the third Japan, and the last is in the USA. What is irregular about them is they have 50% of their components, the important ones, are manufactured in-house, while the last for 50% are outsourced. We see that they have their manufacturing plants, they also have their own distribution channels and their own retail partners around the world. Their distribution channels mainly sells to business partners and also to their end customers, while their retail partners itself mainly sells to end customer.
Okay, so we've known several facts about Lenovo. But Rimba, what is the main question that we have today?
Okay, so actually for this round, we need to answer several main questions. The first of all is how should Lenovo respond to the dynamics of smart connected devices industry? Because right now it's already an emerging market that we have for current business industry. And secondly, for the subsidiary question is that we have 4 points of question that we need to answer. First of all is how to create a global brand for Lenovo, because this is a really big challenge for Lenovo to obtain their brand as the global brand. Now they have a lot of market share, but they have a very low global brand awareness around the world. Second of all is should they continue the protect and attack strategy, which is their current strategy. Third of all is should they shift their business focus currently from PC, and lastly is will they be able to become the key player in this industry.
Okay. So actually, Lenovo has a a lot of allocation for their marketing and promotional expense. However, in the global market, in many countries, Lenovo are not perceived as the top of mind. So in a survey of branding, Apple and Samsung got in the 2nd and 9th place for strong brands. But Lenovo, they don't even get to the top 100 list. So what is actually happening? What is actually wrong in Lenovo's branding strategy? What is actually needed to be improved? And now our team, we propose a new branding strategy, and for that we split the brand into 2, which is first is Lenovo, and second is Think. This is the current brand division, and we are giving you the new value propositions for Lenovo and also for Think. And for Lenovo, what's the value proposition?
Okay, so let's see that for Lenovo, it's the affordable innovation that keeps you connected. So what are these? Let's see from the slide. Here, we see that Lenovo itself is already positioning themselves as a very affordable brand. However, we see that right now people only see Lenovo because of this price competitiveness of Lenovo itself. So how to increase the brand for Lenovo itself? Well, since we believe they have acquired IBM several years ago, we believe that we have to incorporate that in form of a co-branding. Therefore, we would like to introduce Lenovo powered by IBM.
I know that IBM is a very, they have a very high awareness in the market. So if we say Lenovo powered by IBM, not only that the Lenovo can also be propelled, we can also increase the awareness for Lenovo. So since IBM is indeed part of Lenovo now, that we can use the advantage of IBM to those who are not aware of this acquisition, to know that actually IBM is now part of Lenovo. So this will change, that Lenovo is not only affordable, but they are also high-tech, they are also innovative. And therefore we set these three value propositions.
Definitely, Cahya. So let's see the value propositions. First, affordable, because they're already known as an affordable brand, but they're also known as an innovative brand, because in the last 2012 CES, they have won 25 awards. And the better news is that in this year's CES, they've won 44 awards, which means that even the international community has already recognized the innovation that is brought by Lenovo. But the third point is the connected point, which is a new unique selling point proposition that we are going to propose with our integrated campaign and also the cloud computing technology that we have. What is that, Cahya?
Okay, so Lenovo Connect is our marketing campaign for the mass market segment. So here we see that there is a growing trend in the smart connected devices, tablets, smartphones, notebooks, and PCs. They are all seem seamless. They are all seems interconnected. And here we are going to take that trend. We are going to take that advantage, and we will create a new campaign that will boost the sales of the PC, also with our smartphones and our future developed tablets. So here we will integrate all of these. And additionally, in 2012, we have just acquired a software company, Stoneware, and the Stoneware is an expert in the cloud computing. So now, not only that we have all the devices, the PCs, the notebooks, and also the tablets and smartphones, we will also have the cloud computing. So it's all connected under one brand, under one Lenovo. And that's what we are selling, what we are trying to propose, what we are trying to sell to the mass market. And it's still affordable, so you can get all connected and all affordable. And this will also save Lenovo's current strength, which is PC, because here we will focus that PC is the main station, is the home station. So you can bring all your devices, but you will still have your PC. So this will also save the declining trend of the PCs of Lenovo.
But the number two strategy, because we have attacked the mass market, we have attacked the people in the metropolitan area who wanted to have a connected device but only have a limited budget. But what about our other captive markets, which is the rural area itself? We believe that Lenovo's marketing strategy has already implemented several strategies, which is to educate the rural area. But to enhance that even further, we're going to create a program called My First Lenovo, which is actually a PC penetration to the rural area. And we believe that my friend Cahya here have several interesting data about this rural area itself.
Actually, the PC penetration campaign has already started from later years, from earlier years. Lenovo has already done this, but we will name this campaign as My First Lenovo because indeed, for a McKinsey report in 2020, there will be 850 million people living in urban areas, and there will be very high amount of urbanization. Which of the 20% of the 850 million are the first generation born from those urbanized people. So those rural areas will have a very high chance to move to the middle market, which will increase by 17%. The current growth of middle market in China is 17%. So if we educate and if we penetrate Lenovo PC to the rural areas, they will have a top of mind. So when we talk about PC, when we talk about notebook, when we talk about connected devices, they will think of Lenovo. It will be then their top of mind. And ultimately, this will increase our brand awareness as they will move to an upper classes and they will also move to urban cities. So not only that the awareness of Lenovo in rural area increases, but they will also eventually increase the whole global awareness in China, which is the largest market of this PC market. Okay, now we have already told you about our strategies for Lenovo, our mass market segment. How about our second brand, the Think brand?
So the Think brand is actually a very famous brand that is brought by IBM as one of the most powerful and premium computers, especially for corporate users. We believe that this brand needs to be re-strengthened because we already see that there is a market for these kind of brands, especially the strong and powerful PCs and notebooks. That is why we target the corporate clients, the people who need the security, the powerful and the reliable device. And we also have a historical association of this brand towards IBM itself. And this brand already has its loyal consumers. Therefore, we believe that this brand needs its own exposure. And we're going to re-strengthen this brand. We're going to live it up again to compete with other competitors as well. And the location for this marketing campaign will focus mostly on the global market, especially on the US. Because the people in the US has strong association with IBM. And we believe that they are one of the best market for us to enter this re-enter this premium market with this new branding. So, we have talked to you the answers for the first question. We believe that we have created a global and strong brands under the name of Lenovo, with its Lenovo powered by IBM and Lenovo Connect, and also the Think brand itself. But what about the attack and the protect and attack strategy? Should we continue them?
Okay, thank you. First of all, we need to analyze that currently Lenovo is implementing the protect and attack strategy. But we think that right now, for the next year, we still need to continue this. So what are we going to protect? First of all, we're going to protect our current market, which is PC and notebook. We already have a largest share. But the question is, where should we attack? Should we attack toward other places? And we are going to attack into two targets. First of all, it's on the cloud computing. And second of all, it's on the tablet market itself. Now, the reason is that, as you can see from this graph, is that we have believed that right now, PC and notebook is having a really huge market share. And as we know that IBM and Lenovo is one of the leaders, therefore we need to protect this to become our main source of revenue for now. But we need also to think about future growth. Now, to think about the future growth, we need to see from the future that have a very high prospect, which is, as you can see, is from the cloud computing and tablets. Currently, cloud computing is still having a lot of untapped target market, because we believe that right now only few players that play in cloud computing. And from the tablet itself, we also have a huge opportunity to continue, because right now tablet itself is still huge have a very underdeveloped construction. And moreover, is that we can sell the proposition that the tablet is connected together with the PC.
And
so,
additionally, but actually the tablet has 70% growth in the 2011-2012. In contrast, the PC and the notebook has a decline for 4% and 1%. So it's a very prospective growth you're seeing with tablet markets.
Yeah, exactly. Now, on the second part. Now, we have seen that actually the second question. Now, the third question is, should they shift their business focus? Now, we think that it's not the right time for us to shift our business focus. Well, we think that what we need to analyze first of all is that we need to change our mindset, because right now we are only focusing on PC only, but now we need to sell more as a PC plus. So you are not only talking about PC as only a single entity, not only as one unit of a computer, but you also talk about the cloud computing, how you can integrate it with your tablet, for instance, or how you can integrate it with your laptop, for instance. And we think that by all of our previous explanation, we have an opportunity, because right now we have all of the technology for this strategy. And second of all is on the organic growth itself. Now, we think that right now IBM and Lenovo is really unorganic. Their amount of increase is because they have a lot of merger and acquisition. So we really hope that right now we can focus on our current asset, our current business, and not really that much on giving an acquisition. We are not saying that we should not do any acquisition, but we think that right now we should have a bigger focus on developing our own business. And what are we going to do to develop this plan? First of all, in 2013 and 2014, we can do by having an increase of awareness about cloud computing and how it can be integrated to all of the PC under the Lenovo itself. Second of all, is that we should combine the retailer sellers, because right now they only sell the PC product, but now we can tell them to also combine it with our tablets. Now, so after we have implemented this, in the next part in 2014 until 2017 is where we are going to have the focus of marketing and also the development of the production of tablet itself. We are going to have intensive campaign on the tablet itself, and we are going to promote it. We are going to promote the cloud computing and hope it can increase our sales.
what are the risks we face if we change this business focus, Rima? Can you tell me more about the risks?
Okay, so actually there are several risks that we have in this business. First of all, we need to see that the assumption and the probability. The assumption is that the probability, first of all, is very unlikely. Second of all, is moderate. Third, very likely. And the impact is first weak. Second, moderate, and third, strong. But maybe Garin, you can share with me about what can we do to implement and to mitigate all of these risks.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, with these assumptions, we have made 3 analyses of risk from the Lenovo's plan of the future expansion. The first, there is a competitor risk. The competitor risk means that the other companies may follow or imitate what Lenovo had do in their plans, such as the cloud computing. Maybe like companies like Google's and Apple's are already implementing their steps on the cloud computer program. For this risk, we have assumed a very likely probability for their steps to follow in, but it will have likely to be a weak impact on the Lenovo itself, as we are trying to diverse our product from them. The second, there's a manufacturing risk. What we mean that manufacturing risk is that we see that the natural disaster at Thailand hampers the production of hard drives around the world. But as we can see, Lenovo has its own system of manufacturing, but they too will not be fully avoidable to this risk. So we can see that this is the crocodile of the risk. They are slow, but they will bite you hard. The last is the supply chain risk. As we see that with the supply chain model of Lenovo is that they form distribution channel, and they also form retail partnership with other local retailers. What we mean in this supply chain risk is that as Lenovo's plan to acquire local retailers, other companies may hijack that to hinder our step or to hinder our progress. It has a moderate rate of probability and very strong impact on this. So we see that in this graph, we classify the risk. The A risk, which is the competitor risk, which have the low risk factor. It is in the accept classified. So we just accept this as it is very unlikely to avoid or very unlikely to be countered. The second is the transfer risk. We transfer the manufacturer risk to insurance. The last is the supply chain risk, that we form a stronger partnership relation with the other local retailer.
Okay, so because we need to and we can ensure that we can mitigate all those crocodiles and tigers. Now, what we can have in the future? First of all, we think that right now we can have an increase of expected profit for this next 5 years. That we can have up until the profit right now until 110 and 758 US dollar. And we think that right now, currently, our market share in China is still only 30%. And we expect that back then for the future, in 2017, we're going to have an increase up until 50%. Because right now, the market in China is still very untapped for the rural regions. And because we are targeting this rural region, we expect that we can have an increase of the market share, particularly coming from this place.
So with all those risks mitigated, with all the future projections, future market share, will actually Lenovo able to be a key player in the smart connected device industry? Well, Team Indonesia believes so. Team Indonesia believes that Lenovo can indeed be a key player in the industry. And why is that? Firstly, because Garen has mentioned this before, we have a different positioning with other competitors. In the industry now, the most talked about companies are Apple and Samsung. Well, here we are different from Apple because they have a very different pricing strategy with us. They are more tapping to the premium market, and we are more affordable because that's our value proposition, affordability. And for Samsung, they indeed have many devices. They have TVs, they have also notebooks, they have also smartphones, tablets, they have lots of electronic devices. However, we have cloud computing and they don't have the cloud computing yet. So here Lenovo, we have all the devices and we have also the cloud computing, and we give you an affordable price. So it will give us a quite different positioning from our competitors. And we also have an organic growth since we are not doing acquisitions anymore, not focusing on acquisitions anymore. Sorry, and we will also raise awareness in emerging economies. And since they are emerging in the future prospect, they are really prospective.
To conclude our presentation shortly, what are our answers to the main questions? The first one: make a strong and global brand for Lenovo. The second one: continue to protect and attack strategy, but in other terms. And third one, focus on organic growth and create the PC plus mindset. We believe with these three answers, Lenovo could be a key player in the industry. We are from Team Indonesia, and we're very glad to present in front of you today. Thank you very much.
Interestingly, if we look at the branding that you talked about, you now seem to want to rely more heavily on the IBM link. Are you running the risk of them being considered old school? If you go out to your future customers, those that are 16, 17 today, and you're talking to them about smartphones, talking to them about tablets and things like that, are they even going to know the IBM brand, and is that going to have brand strength, or have you just hitched your wagon to something that's dying?
So thank you. First of all, we think that yes, IBM is quite old, maybe that all of us usually the corporate professional use that. But however, we have seen that this is a very old brand, more than 20, maybe 30 years of a brand. And we think that the image that is embedded within it is that this is a very strong and very high-tech technology. Therefore, we are not saying that we are going to put IBM as our main selling point, but what we can see is that IBM is really what powering the Lenovo itself. So when people see, maybe people will say that this is Lenovo. People think that right now this is actually cheap and this is unreliable. But when they see that, well, we have IBM that powered this technology, then people can say, well, this is actually a good technology with a very high quality and very high machinery production capability.
To further add Rimba, we believe that IBM is actually the first mover in the industry. It means that the people who are in IBM are the people who are more at most classified, and they're like the ones who has the technology at the first hand. We believe that this strong first mover image is the one that we are going to empower here in Lenovo itself.
At the risk of offending my fellow judges, I think at our age we get who IBM is. I'm just not sure that your new developing market, this new developing buyer, is necessarily going to know that much about who IBM is.
Well, okay. So why in the first place we add powered by IBM is that, well, maybe people will think IBM is old school, but people are aware of IBM. They are aware that this is, well, maybe for those who are less technology literate like me, well, maybe IBM, I just see IBM as a high-tech company. It deals with something with technology. So we tap to those who are already aware to the market, and then from further, we will also rely on our features and all our technology. So we are only using IBM to make people that are not aware of Lenovo but aware of IBM knows that Lenovo is the same with IBM. So we are tapping those untapped market with who are aware with IBM.
You mentioned that you want to tap the untapped market, emerging markets. What is the demographic of your market? What type of clients will you be aiming for?
Since we have two brands, the first is the Lenovo brand and second is ThinkPad. For the Lenovo brand, we will aim to the middle class segment for the middle market. In countries like Russia, China, Brazil, India, Indonesia, those emerging economies, we will tap to the middle market in that area because they are growing and their consumption power is also growing.
Okay, that's great in terms of geography. In terms of actual type of clients, what, are you going for corporates? Are you going for mature clients? Are you going for teenagers? What demographic are you going for?
Okay, to answer that, the basic business of Lenovo and IBM consists of two lines. There are the end customers that is served by the Lenovo product itself, and the second there's this corporate clients that is served by the IBM. So we can see that Lenovo's current sales on China itself is about the 30% of the market share, and Lenovo in US is also is potentially growing to 7% of the market share. So this is why we can classify that these two groups of market, that is the end customers of the maybe like the individual people or small business enterprise that use the Lenovo, and here this is the bigger corporate clients that use the IBM products.
Okay, if I may add, seeing from the psychological and the behavioral pattern, we believe that for Lenovo's customer, we are also tapping to the first-time users, like what we are trying with the My First Lenovo is that, because we believe that these first-time users, especially those people who are just increasing their economic status as middle class, for example. They wanted to try this new technology called computer. They want to have something affordable but something good. We believe that we are tapping those kind of people, in especially for the Lenovo brand.
Okay, so just to clarify in my mind, so you've got two
Yes,
targets.
we
two
get
segments.
different targets.
You've got the corporates, and
And
you'll
the first
very
one. And
much use the IBM
And-
branding to service those, and that's where IBM is still pretty big.
And that's why we separate into two different brands.
Okay.
Right
And
now.
you're also looking for end users, so the retail market.
Yes.
Yes.
And within that retail market, what's the demographic? Are you going for? So you're going for new users, but new users could be fairly mature users in a country where they're not used to using personal computers, or it might be, in a country where they are used to using personal computers, but they're new, as in they're quite young, they're just starting out with themselves.
Mm.
Okay, well, firstly, we tap to the first group, those who are first-time users. So those that are not shifting brand or changing brand, but those who never own a tablet or a smartphone or a PC before but want to buy one. That's the psychographic target that we are targeting.
And in addition, for people that already own a computer, or maybe we can say have a better understanding on cloud computing, we can target it by what we have done in the city and urban areas,
Yeah,
which is
okay.
that we are focusing more on by selling the PC plus point. We are saying that this is actually a good brand because you can have not only having a PC, but you also have laptop, notebook, and tablet all be combined together.
That's the PC Plus.
That's the PC Plus.
If I may ask, maybe by way of clarification, is that you're talking about you zoomed in quite a lot on branding to make a Lenovo more a global brand.
Yes.
But at the same time, you also see that there are currently two brands, the Think and the Lenovo. I don't seem to see a lot of your articulation on how, in your branding strategy, the two will either compete or try to capture different market share, or they will reinforce each other. That's the first question. And the second question is still on the global brand. Again, in your presentation, I seem to see you talk quite a lot about the marketing strategy in China, in rural China, and then trying to still grow the market in the US. But that doesn't really come together, form a global market strategy, or I don't know whether I missed something or you would like to add a little.
Okay, so basically we divide the market. So there are two different markets that are not being in one market. They're not together. So in the Think brand, that's for corporate clients. That's for companies. They buy pre-configured PCs. And for the Lenovo's, here are, as I said before, as I mentioned before, it's for the first-time user. It's for the retail user. So for the first question, no, it will not be together. It is a different set. However, to answer your second question, which is the global brand, well, actually, in the Think brand, so in the ThinkPads or the other Think PCs, it's ThinkPad powered by IBM and also a Lenovo logo there. So it's ThinkPad powered by IBM and Lenovo. But in Lenovo we use the vice versa. So it's Lenovo powered by IBM. So they both can still co-brand together because the Lenovo brand is still there. So with these two approaches, we can introduce and approach more. We can introduce more Lenovo to the market, to the global market. Maybe you want to be more to add.
And moreover, in terms of the global marketing strategy, is that the problem right now mainly is not on the distribution channel. The problem is not on the amount of availability of Lenovo products, but mostly on the branding. Therefore, that's why for the global market, most of all, we will focus on the branding, how we can create Lenovo as a more interesting brand in comparison with current years. And that's exactly why we are focusing on the global branding strategy. And moreover, why we have a little bit increase of development in China is because China is really an untapped market, especially on the rural areas, and that's exactly where we can have a very high growth. But for the global marketing strategy, we can focus first of all is on how we can make a very good branding that can change the perception of people about Lenovo itself.
So by global, China and US are only part of the global market. Are you still underlining your marketing strategy as mainly focusing China, because Lenovo is still very much seen as a Chinese brand, and then to get away of to get a global dimension, then you focus on the US, but not much anywhere else.
We believe that right now the marketing strategy that we implement in rural China can also be duplicated in other emerging economies as well. Like what my friend Cahya has mentioned before, we have also people who never tried computer in Brazil, in India, in Indonesia. But the reason why we firstly focus on China, because there's like the most feasible plan for us now. But in order for us to duplicate that strategy in global strategy, we believe we are able to do that because the psychological and behavioral pattern is still the same on these emerging economies as well.
And to clarify things, for the Lenovo Connect, we are not targeting China only, but also other emerging economies, which is Russia, India, Brazil, like I have mentioned before. So no, we will not only be on China and the US, but the emerging economies. And for the Think brand, it's global, but mainly on the US because they have corporates and have relationships with IBM. That's the question.
I'd like to throw you a curveball here. I think your biggest risk in what you've presented to us today is the lack of innovation. So, you know, you're talking about protecting the PC, which you've already acknowledged is a dying animal, and tying more things to the PC, so tying the mobile devices to the PC and staying in that PC space. So it feels like a safe answer. You know, staying where Lenovo is and then trying to extend a little bit around the edges, rather than something that says, how do we totally change the game here? So I guess I wouldn't mind knowing your thinking of kind of why you went down this path rather than saying, well, let's look at this completely out of the box and taking a different view. I'm happy for anyone to answer, and I know that's a curveball question.
First of all, yes, this is PC is a dying animal, but this is a very big animal, and we think that we still have a very huge opportunity to still capture this huge dying animal before they die really soon. But how about the innovation? First of all, in terms of acquisition, right now IBM and Lenovo also have a lot of think tank and technology innovation. For instance, they have a merger and buy shares of the company of an venture capital innovation company in Israel, for instance, and they also have a really global mindset because the executive director of Lenovo and IBM is coming from all over the world, from Russia, from China, and we think that is exactly the opportunity because we can have an innovation coming from this different perspective from all around the world, and we think we can develop. But this huge dying animal, we still can use it and we still can utilize it for now.
And if I may add, we believe that even though it's declining and even though it's dying, we believe that PC will never die because it actually has a niche customers that will always need PCs, like corporations, for example, or families. And we're tapping into these markets because we believe that even though our world right now is still is very mobile, but people still needs a reliable device, psychologically, because that's why we want to re-strengthen that feeling of people needing this PC itself by our marketing strategy. And we don't want to be drowned in the mainstream, and we want to go different. We want to, create something to enhance our main products right now, which is PC. And we believe that with Lenovo Connect, we believe that the main focus of people itself can shift again into PC because they see PC as a home station, not only as a huge machine lying down on the desk.
And if I could clarify again, so the main thing that we are trying to propose through our marketing campaign is not the PC, but it's the connectivity between all these devices and the cloud computing we offer. So the innovation lies there. It's a new thing because, well, Lenovo has never done this before, and in the market there's Apple, but it's quite pricey, and if compared with Lenovo is more affordable. So we're trying to innovate that. So we're trying to give a more affordable solution to this cloud computing and these interconnected devices. And for the PC, it will only be pushed by our innovation, but it's not like the main thing that drives everything forward. So PC is dragged by this cloud computing innovation.
Okay. We only have 1 minute left. Before that, thank you very much for all the judges for this very inspiring session. We're very glad to be here with you today.
You still have a question?
It's 1 minute left.
30 seconds.
30 seconds left.
We'll use that to give you some applause.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
Okay, thank you very much.